Welcome back, all you beautiful thinking people, you lovers of liberty, you lovers of freedom, you trucker convoys, you trucker convoy 2022. I back you. Oh, sorry. That's right. I'm supposed to be unbiased here. I'm sorry. Take that back. Scratch that from the record. This is your host, Clyde of Advocation X, and I'm here to report to you on the Trucker Convoy 2022. If you don't know what the Trucker Convoy is for 2022, let me tell you, it is a group of thousands. Sorry, unbiased here, unbiased. It is a group of thousands of truckers from around the city, the province, the parts of the country, actually. Wait. It's a movement around the world. Folks, breaking news. Excuse me. Folks, breaking news. This Trucker Convoy 2022 seems to be having influence all around the world, and everybody seems to be getting on the bandwagon. Wait. Sorry. Not everyone? Really? Not everyone? Oh, a small fringe element of extremist? Oh, come on, really? All right, I'll pass on the message. So, folks, the Trucker Convoy 2022, which is evidently a very small extremist group around the world of extreme racists, misogynists, and terrorists. Yes, that's the truth, as reported by mainstream media. And of course, you know I love mainstream media. They are the authority on everything mainstream. I'm sorry, I have to apologize, folks. Apparently, that's a lie. They are not the authority on everything mainstream. Oh, they're the authority on mistruths and misdirection and misinformation. Did I get that right? Okay, folks, I got that right. Those of you who are in love with the mainstream media, you keep on listening to them. But for those of you who are a little curious as to what the hang is really going on, listen to this channel. We're going to continue on with more progress on the Trucker Convoy 2022. Have you heard that in this Trucker Convoy, these 5-year-old terrorists... What? I thought you just took... They just finished telling me they're all terrorists. Now they're saying the 5-year-olds are not terrorists. Okay, these 5-year-old skaters and Jolly Jumper, no, not Jolly Jumper, Bouncy Castle playmates are being looked at very closely by the RCMP. Oh my gosh, excuse me, just one second. What would you get your story straight? Okay, the 5-year-olds are not being looked at by the RCMP. The Ottawa police are trying to call in Children's Aid to take away all the 5-year-olds because they think they're having too much fun in the bouncy castles and too much fun skating around. No? That's not what it is? Oh, they're very, very worried for their health. They're very scared for their health. They think these children are in danger. Total danger. The bouncy castles could deflate at the very moment that these kids do a flip, and that would crack their head against the balloon-shaped... Okay, listen, I'm not listening to you anymore. Enough. Okay, folks, I'm going to have to do this flying by the seat of my pants, okay? So these terrified, these children are subject to much controversy. Where some people out there are saying, oh yes, that's terrible, these children are in danger, and nobody should endanger their children like that. Except for all the truckers in the world who have traveled with their children and had adequate facilities for the children and food and shelter. Sorry, I'm just reporting the news. And so, let's get back to the unbiased news. These children in so much danger. We all apologize for the horrible visuals that you've been subject to watching. What? Get out of here. Don't even say that. Absolutely can't be true. Did you know, folks, that the only children that have been harmed by the radical, horrible, aggressive, angry anti-protesters driving through a crowd, hitting a 4-year-old or is it a 5-year-old child? Thank God that child did not die, but was taken and treated. What? I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. This is breaking news. I had to bring this to you. So of all these angry, extremist, crazy trucker types with their supporters, never harmed a child or anyone else. But yet, these anti-protesters on the other side, who are what some people are calling what? What do they call them? Karens and Kens, are acting like lunatics and going to extreme lengths to harm people. Sorry. Sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes I have to listen to that thing in my ear that tells me what's going on. Now that we're at that point, let me continue on here, because I mean, this is a very distracting topic and I want to get away from that. That's absolute extremism, and not on the part of the truckers or their supporters. These are the people who are complaining about the truckers. So remember that. No harm has come to any children through the truckers and their supporters. The only harm that has resulted has been through the anti-protesters, anti-truckers, anti-supporters. I know you've seen images of police officers coming up and taking gas cans of gas away from these truckers. And they're doing that for the safety of the truckers and the people in those convoys. By no means are they trying to starve these truckers of heat and make them freeze to death in their trucks. By no means is that the case. They are only looking out for their safety. And the food that they stole was because it could very well be tainted with salmonella and many other types of poisons. And they, again, are protecting the truckers and their supporters. They would not want any harm to come to them. Wait, what? Oh, the superiors were looking to do that? The superiors were looking to starve out the truckers and their families with their children? Sorry, my emotional outburst. I need to get that under control. The superiors were handing down orders to their subordinates to go ahead and actually do the nasty to all of these people, under the auspices of coercing them to leave. Now, breaking news, it was taken to court, and the judge said, return their property. That was theft. The police departments were stealing from Canadian citizens. Now, we know, of course, once the court ruled that the police would not do that again. Except they did. They went back again and stole more gas cans. They even stole gas cans from truckers who were using them to contain their urine because they had no place else to do it. And the police took them too. No joke. Sorry. So let me give you some positive news. The Ontario government instituted a state of emergency of some sort. Some weird thing that they seem to use to try to get extra supernatural powers over the people of their area, their constituencies. I do agree with the one thing that they did. They cleared the Ambassador Bridge. Now, wait a second. All you lovers of freedom and liberty, don't jump on me just yet. The bridge was very, very old and was already assessed by engineers as being not possibly capable of withstanding all the vibrations from the trucks running their engines, and it could have lost us some of our truckers. So in that regard, I'm very happy that they cleared the bridge. I would not want to see that tragedy come to pass. I would not want to see that. Now, if the trucks were left behind and the truckers were all on this side with all their supporters, then so be it. Let the bridge collapse without any cops or anybody on it. don't wish harm to anybody. Now we hear the federal government is pulling out all the stops. A countrywide state of emergency to deal with these unruly, vicious, extremist, racist, misogynist truckers and their supporters. If you so much as bring a sandwich to a supporter, you will be arrested for mischief. If you bring them a drink of water, mischief. Don't dare even think of putting gas in their tank, mischief. You'll go to jail. Horrible person you. Try to support people in their minutes and hours of need. You deserve everything you get. Sorry. Oh, where was I going with that? Let me apologize to you lovers of liberty and freedom. That's not really what I meant. I'm backtracking. Sorry. It's not that they're really horrible people at all. They're just regular fathers and brothers and people of our communities. Wives and sisters and mothers and fathers of our communities. They're only the people that bring us all the supplies that we consume every single day. And they did it through the pandemic when there was no protection for them whatsoever. And they survived and probably were exposed. And they probably have natural immunity. Yeah, okay. These are the same people that now are being called all kinds of derogatory names. The people who kept you going through the entire period without any real help or support. They were essential workers, remember? Did you not go out there and call them all heroes? I hope you're still calling them heroes, because right now they're doing an even bigger job. They're fighting for all of our freedom, all of our liberty, all of us, every one of us, your children, your grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren. These guys are going to become civilian veterans of our history books. Civilian veterans of a war between people with common sense and understanding and compassion and love versus vicious, nasty, power-hungry radicals. You could call them extremists. I've heard, this is personal experience, I've heard some people espouse from their own mouths that they don't care if the people on the other side of their argument cannot feed their children, cannot pay their mortgage, cannot stay in their job. They don't care. And then they have the nerve to say, those people are selfish. I don't remember hearing from the trucker convoy or the people supporting it that they wish to inflict harm on other people, or that they're wishing harm on other people in any other way, or that they would like those people to get sick from their choices, or die from their choices, or not be able to work from their choices, and not be able to feed their families from their choices. I only hear that from one side. And if you are one of the people on that side, I implore you to do some research. No, not the research you've already done. Please, spare me. I've heard it all. Because you know what? If you look back into my videos, way back to the beginning of this whole super bad cold illness thing, I put out videos proclaiming the numbers, proclaiming the fear that these fear mongers have been doing as well, because they got to me too. Every day I was checking the numbers around the world and I was reporting them in my videos and telling everybody to stay safe, stay home, cover up, wear your mask, do all the things that these fear mongers are telling you. And yes, that includes me, because I was also a fearmonger, but I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was doing it along in conjunction with the foolishness that I was listening to until I started doing a ton of research. I even gave up one of my jobs because I was afraid to cross-contaminate from one business to another. So in case you don't know, I was an actor. I was a background performer. I was a special skills element performer. I was a stunt performer. I have done everything I could possibly do in the film industry. And can I tell you a secret? I love the film industry. And I mean passionately. Some of you out there are voting me out of my passion. Because I can tell you right now, I don't care if I got 25 pokes in my arm, I will not show you my papers. You say, why? What's wrong? If you got the pokes, show your papers. No. Why? Because it was done to a certain segment of society in Germany. It was done to a certain segment of society in North America. As slaves, if you did not show your papers, you were hung and tortured by people who I will not even start to describe, because I don't have any human terms that can describe them. And you ask people now to repeat the sins of the past and show their papers. You can't go eat with your wife unless you show your papers. You can't go to the mall, into a store, and shop unless you show your papers. Oh, but you can go in the mall with a mask and you can run around the mall, but you can't go in the stores. I'm sorry, folks. If the irony and foolishness of that is not obvious to you, there's a real difficulty going on here. A real difficulty. However, through the entire period, you can go into huge grocery stores and touch apples and look and see what's going on and move around throughout the whole thing with hundreds of people. And that was okay. Folks, please start looking a little deeper. Open your mind, let real information flow inside, and I think you will find Trucker Convoy 2022 is not a threat to you. An inconvenience? Absolutely. There are no protests in history that did not cause much inconvenience before anything positive was done. But guess what? If you want to get back to normal, even if you don't support them, get out there and support. It'll be over faster than you can shake a stick at. Because the more numbers join this movement across the world, the sooner you're going to be able to say thank you to the civilian veterans of 2022. Folks, I'm so sorry to bring this story to you, but it is needed. It is necessary. There's not enough people out there getting the real information. I was there on the ground in Ottawa, and I can tell you, some of the most peaceful, loving people I have seen anywhere. The only time it was better is St. Jean the Baptiste Day in Quebec, in Montreal on Mount Royal, was the most amazing experience of loving, sharing, caring people. Do me a favor, remember, we never give up, and neither should you, in support of the Trucker Convoy 2022. And we never give in, as should you not. Especially when it comes to the Trucker Convoy of 2022. But here's the one thing I want you all, whether you're my beautiful thinking people or just coming in for the first time or friend of, family of, is we also know that we need to keep an open mind. Because without an open mind, we don't gather knowledge. And knowledge is the only power we have. So don't give up your power. And do me a favor, folks. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And beyond all, stay as happy as humanly possible.